Yes, Commander, what do you want?
I, I mean, we were scheduled to meet right now.
No, we're grounded currently. Our ship's in dry dock.
No, the holiday finished today. So orders come in and why are the captains the last to know?
Welcome back to Trekyards, everybody. I'm Captain Foley,
I'm Commander Cockins.
and we're here today to talk about the first episode of Season 3 of Lower Decks, called Grounded. And this is a complete spoiler-full review.
And we had a slight break after we did Lower Decks Prodigy, Discovery Prodigy, Picard, Stranger Worlds. Now we're back for presumably a similar line of things. So welcome to the next 50 weeks of our lives, Stuart. But to start on Lower Decks, that's a nice thing. So Stuart, what do you think of Lower Decks Season 3 Episode 1, the continuation and maybe the finishing of the Packwood Destruction Planet arc?
I was honestly kind of underwhelmed by the story, but I loved all the visuals and all the in-canon reference things we got. Lots of surprises there, and it felt very short. But I mean, we've been watching Strange New Worlds, and it's longer, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it or just the story in general. But overall, I enjoyed it. It just wasn't quite the bang out of the gate that I expected. How about you?
My instant gut reaction is that I enjoyed this more than any of Strange New Worlds. Because it really was just a window into Star Trek that we haven't had since Lower Decks Season 2. You forget in between the two seasons how smart Mike is and his taking the universe, making slight tweaks, additions, and yet still using everything as it should be. And so you get the best of those both worlds of what's new, what's old, what's fresh, what's random, I wouldn't have thought of that, but actually it kind of works. It's all thought out. And that was epitomized in this episode. It was filled with that stuff and was still a good short, 20 episode story with several different arcs. Mariner focused, yet everyone else has stuff to do. It was still, filled to the brim, and as well as they could do in 20 minutes. It is a little bit. The only thing I'll say is underwhelming is that the plot is finished so quick, as in the Captain Freeman in jail. But the fact they give us a literal epic, slideshow of the action and reveal other things and show other stuff makes up for it, because you kind of you feel like it was still cool even if you got it as 7 still images. And now we can move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad it wrapped up in one episode. I love that.
I think it was all 2. Given the end, I was like, was it be 2?
Yeah, I thought so too. All behind the scenes. It all happens off screen. The whole trial thing, and I thought that was great. Like, trust the system. That whole thing was awesome. Even her friends told her that, and
everyone said it in every scene.
So it's good to see, things working, justice system working as it should in that regard, and Starfleet trusting its captains. I thought that was great, and I got to say, nice little reveal for Captain Morgan Batesman being like special ops. That was nice. That was an unexpected one for sure, but nice little reference there. As there were quite a few different references in this episode. So.
Yeah, most people won't appreciate how deep that cuts, but how just nice it is, because it means that this guy from TNG lost at a time for 80 years. He was never mentioned again except in books. And so to know that he was able to, kind of, in a similar vein to Scotty, what would happen to him, we still don't know. To know that Batesman did bounce back, keep his rank. For 20 years, he can be a captain, and so trusted for such a mission. That's a hell of a... That guy did bomb, because that's the only way of saying that he would get that mission. So yay for him.
And even the Boimler thing, I mean, we've heard that he was a raisin farmer before this episode started. So I thought, that might explain his hair color choice, because it's really raisin colored. But then I'm like, that doesn't, though, because he kind of despises the whole family business, and just being there doesn't enjoy it, and even says it's going to take me weeks to get the smell out of my hair. But I thought, going into it, that could be a good reason why he has that hair color choice. Not really paid off, but hey. They do mention his hair color, though. Nobody knows my true hair color is, and then she cuts off the recording.
Yeah, that was a bold retcon.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't naturally have purple hair without being some, alien in your legacy, so being a choice makes it like, okay, cool. Sweet. That means we can see boring Boimler with brown hair at some point. In a flashback or a flashback. That's great. That was a nice little thing. Yeah, the Raisin Farmer thing is obviously a joke within a joke. it's whelming. I wish we'd seen that his parents would have given us a bit more of a oomph. Because we'd seen almost the entire scene in the previews and it was okay by itself.
And all the ladies on the farm have the hots for him. I thought that was hilarious too. He just dismisses them all. Just whether he's totally clueless or what the situation is, I don't know. But I thought that was
and even if the scene plays him as a ditz that can't see it, the fact is they appreciate him probably for his looks and for the fact that he knew the answer to every one of their questions instantly without thinking. So again, played like a ditz, actually incredibly talented and professional. Fine line, but they keep doing it for him.
And another thing I really appreciated, they got James Cromwell back for the voice of Zephyr Cochrane, and that was great. Just to revisit Bozeman, Montana, and to have the music from that film was fantastic. I really love seeing the Phoenix warship as a ride.
Well, it brought a gentle tear to my eye. The emotion swelled because it's again, it's a deeper cut than people realise. Those who are tertiary fans are like, oh, that's cool. But to know that this place, because that's pretty damn late in the timeline, is so respected and revered that it goes beyond that point into the point of everyone can enjoy it as a part of life. And now it's a revered theme park. Like it goes from museum to like it elevates it in the world of Trek for me as being it's so monumental that it's so past a monument. It's just a place people have fun and love it and appreciate it. And yeah, being a ride on a replica of the Phoenix is a genius move. I mean, this episode is filled with genius moves. I certainly didn't expect them then to steal the Phoenix and take it to Cerritos and for it to have a real warp engine and for it to work. And it's like, wow, we got to see the Phoenix again. Different cockpit, so it's not the exact same one. But yeah, to see the Phoenix go to warp inside the solar system to the moon, give or take. It's like, never in my wildest dreams, I think, would get this. The hell is our life? I love it. It was so smart. And to see this, the Phoenix dock with the Cerritos, it's like, what?
It was kind of nice to have it like a Renaissance fair, like
genius.
Where they were
reenactors. Yes.
Yeah. And then the balloons. There was a Phoenix-shaped balloon, a TOS Connie balloon, a Defiant. I think the T-Planet Hoth was a balloon as well. It was actually turned into like a kid's amusement zone, or at least a replica of it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ship's bigger than the slide, so yeah. No, it's brilliant. I mean, it was flawless. I couldn't fault anything in it. I mean, I wish obviously Cromwell had more to do. Like that's the thing where it becomes a difference between fan service cameo to functional story. If he had interacted with the crew in a fun way, that would have been, well, now we're forcing it. But have him be literal to the role, which is the tour guide, that's now that's how it would be. There's no fan service there so much as, well, yeah, it would of course be Cochrane. It would of course. I was expecting a reenactment to come in and he'd be drunk but why wouldn't it be a hologram? It was good.
The alien creatures that were preventing transporting.
Yes, another orgy, Stuart. Yes, another Lower Decks orgy.
That was interesting as well. Nice little reason they can't transport. I love how they always have to work in a way in the script why you can't transport or make it easy. I really expected when we heard that the transporter was actually being watched over by an old security guy. I expected somebody we knew. That whole old grandpa offering up caramels and stuff. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
Do you know who I thought it was? The guy from Star Trek 3 that Uhura shoved in a closet. Because he was young, he was in his 20s, so he could be alive still, given that, only 20 years ago, Bones was still around, and if that guy's 40 years younger than Bones, I mean, and they'd have to throw him in a closet again. Or he has no closets on purpose. I mean, it's fine, it's just some guy, but I just assumed, like, well, you've got to transport a chief we have to knock out.
I was hoping for Scotty.
Oh,
Scotty.
Oh,
that's his job after Relics. He kind of retired on Earth, and he's a buff for buffers. But no, I thought that was really well done too. Kind of the twist of, well, we can't knock this guy out, and it's like, oh, everybody just comes here to knock me out, and that wouldn't be you, would it? And then he ends up helping them anyway.
Yeah, and the fact that he brought a phaser out, he plays it one way as you would, and then as soon as he realizes something's wrong, he's still talented enough to deal with it. No, it's great. It was a beautiful sort of scene, and there's lots of little things in those scenes that we're going to talk about this week. There's a lot in general to talk about, so wait and see, guys. But some weird things in that scene as well. There's actually one detail that's there for 4 frames, and so they had to think about putting it there for 4 frames. Frame, not seconds, 4 frames.
We notice these things, guys.
Well, we better. We do try to. And it also does confirm, which we know is obvious, but that you can beam, almost to the moon in one beam, which obviously means you could push to any dry dock. The fact that they think we can beam to a dry dock, like, obviously, they never necessarily said it, but it's Children of Mars even more stupid again, because the whole point of Children of Mars is that the dad can't beam home for Christmas, or whichever, but you can. Like, you can't get home because it takes too long, but if you can beam for Christmas, then you can literally turn up for 10 minutes and be fine. So
You just chose not to.
that's the thing. Lower Decks constantly makes the other treks look bad for their consistency and smartness. So good for them. It's like having Peregrine, attack fighters as security for the... Yeah, great. Yeah, yeah, of course. They'd be quick, fast, efficient. Yeah.
Guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you've clicked that notification bell icon to all, just so you don't miss any of the content. We're going to have a lot of content coming out. Just small little things, as Samuel said, a couple frames that they put a lot of thought and effort into, and we're hoping people would notice, and we did, so we're going to point it out to you guys in case you missed it. So
make it 10 seasons, 15 seasons, 20 seasons. Never stop, Mike. Never stop. I kind of like that Stealing the Enterprise, Stealing the Cerritos, was only a few minutes, really. Like, I have nothing against it being a longer thing, but it was vaguely implied it was going to be the story very much replicate Star Trek 3. It wasn't. It was played much simpler, much more straightforward. I kind of wanted a beef barricade, crash moment where a thing comes up, but that's fine. Can't have everything. And they stop her, and then I liked how efficient it was. It moved through the plot. Mariner pushing her luck, going too far, and at the end being like, yeah, so we love you. We're not going to kick you out, but we can't demote you any further. You're at not a good ship. There's nowhere else to go. Not even the transporter chief job. That's a higher ranking job than this. And now we've got this short leash element of Ransom. So that's changed the dynamic. There isn't that mum and daughter clashing. She's maturing. All of that to save her mum. You kind of say exactly why Kirk would do it, etc. So I already feel the development of the character just from that. So no, it was a good ending, I thought.
And they mentioned at least Mariner's thoughts that the Cali class aren't important, because how are they going to believe a Cali class ensign when they won't even believe a Cali class captain?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a thing, and which does double down to the idea of the trial. And I was certainly worried that all of the new treks go for admirals are dark, things are bad. Remember Michael Burnham's trial literally with dark figures. It's like, Jesus Christ, this is a Section 31 inquiry probably. But the entire message of the episode is trust the system because Starfleet's better than now, and it'll obviously Freeman wouldn't do it. That makes no sense. Let's try and save her. Like, the fact that end message is the end message is beautiful, because that's what Lower Decks brings. But any of the shows, yes, do it right, do it properly, and Tuvok is there to back you up if you need him.
Yes, kind of restores the faith in Starfleet and the more optimistic view of things, because it has been very dark as of late with Section 31 doing nefarious things and admirals being janky, and there's been a lot of that going on, which is not what Star Trek is really about. So bringing that back was great. And
then what do you think of the twist of Packlids destroying their own planet?
Well, I mean, kind of expected that, honestly. I thought it would be more of an accident, but the fact that it was a plan so that they could have the Federation relocate them to a more resource-rich planet, didn't expect that. Didn't think they were quite that clever. And I love the shot of the the Packlids, and you got the one guy with the Cerritos hat and stuff on in there. So
Rumdar,
that's it. Thank you. Yeah, nice little touches like that. But in that shot, that shot of the planet exploding, and you got the Olympic class, and you got the Cerritos. It's like, oh, that's a nice shot.
Which the fact that a medical ship came to help out the destruction makes sense. Nice touch. No, I thought it was smartly dumb.
Just like Packlids.
Yeah, because it's a very organic end to that entire deep, dark storyline. It's not as exciting as it could be, but it's so like, oh, okay, yeah. Shit. It's a weird one. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, it works. It would have been nice if it had been some Romulan stuff, but they have said before they don't want these big, grand storylines necessarily. But also, if it was intentional, you'd assume the Packlids would have, moved some people off the planet, have other things going on. So it isn't. This doesn't actually remove the Packlids as a threat because it was intentionally timed. Whereas we assumed it was like half the planet's destroyed, half the population's dead. Calamity. But it now no longer has to be that. So we're not necessarily removing them from the plot. Except it'd be a shame because those are a good race. No, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and like I said at the start, it's just compared to Stranger Worlds and Picard, it's like it just is fully Star Trek, and it's not even shy of it. And you watch it like, yes, 100% yes, it's still clearly the best. Not even close.
I really enjoyed it as well. Just it wasn't quite what I expected from the first episode.
It was more personal for Mariner than No, I do agree. It was definitely smaller, but I think that's subverting expectations and also having the epic end and continuing to remind us these aren't the captain, commander, and these are lower decks, so their stories can only be so big. And the fact that for them, and we say this about other things, just trying to get to a dry dock in the solar system is a challenge. Like, they can't just requisition a shuttle, which we both have said previously they could probably just get a shuttle from one of the many yards. But the fact that it's so difficult that you have to steal a theme park ride, like, that's so random out of the thing, does kind of add to the, rank has its privileges, low rank has its, you just, So I actually kind of like it functionally worked really well. I got what they're doing. And as long as you understand what they're doing, might not be your favourite episode, but at least it's smart. And that's Lower Decks. There you go.
Yep, good summary. Well, guys, if you liked this video, please click like. If you really enjoy our content and want to help us out, you can always do a super thanks. They are down there, right below the video window.
Anytime.
Yes, on any video from all the years past.
I mean, those of you in Lower Decks Season 10, give us a super thanks. I know inflation's at 4,000%, so give us a $450 super thanks, and we'll buy a cup of coffee.
That would be super. What also would be super is joining our lives, which we do regularly, and super chat during the lives where you can actually get your voice heard. We do read them all on the air, so any super thanks, chat, we really appreciate. And just be part of the community. Make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell icon, and just join us for all those cool things. And don't miss out on the Trekyards goodness.
Not just that, but we've done a whole lot of videos on this episode in a range of topics. Lower Decks is a very, very visual show, and they do throw out those one visual that can bring the Trekyards mind to bear. And we'll look at that. And so check out episodes both this week and later weeks, as there's literally more than 1 week's of the content. So tune in, enjoy, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, because the more people see the videos, the more we get, the more we can do, etc., etc. And of course, like you said, all those direct money ways. But the super chats are super important. So join the lives, have discussions, and we'll see you next time.
So until then, he's Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley. Welcome back to Judy Stewart.
Yeah, I gotta go get suited up and get the captain's pips. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.